Scooter, Fink's Fab Shop. So, hostages and hostagettes, Fink Fabbers, of all types and forms. I think I'm going to introduce Think About It Thursday. And we're going to try every Thursday to post up a short little video on the main page. It may be just enough for a short, but we're just going to talk about different topics and things like that. Stuff to make you think about. Basically, it may be car related, it may be insurance related, it may be just something that's been placed on the heart at that particular time. So today's particular subject, basically vandalism or malicious destruction of personal property during a repossession. I just got done looking at a car that's been repossessed by the bank, and the thing had the windows blew out of it, tires are slashed, the hood, the doors, and the trunk, and it's been beat in, and you can tell with a ball bat or some sort of similar object. The interior had been ripped apart in it and broke, gouged with pens and things like that.
Miles, take exit 1 for 8th Avenue.
You could tell that somebody was rather upset it was being taken. Well, the first thing is, if you don't want it to be taken, pay your damn bill, right? So, and I understand people lose their job. Stuff happens that may be out of their control, they're sick, or they can't work, or they got hurt, or something like that, but they make disability insurances, gap insurances to help pay your bills. A lot of times a credit union or a bank will want to work with you in some way, shape, or form. If you can't pay the whole payment, they'll accept something. So if you're trying, right, they're probably more apt to help you out. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this. I understand you're upset. You think someone's stealing your object. But here's the deal. If you hold a note on it, do you really own it? You're leasing it or you're renting it, so-called, from a bank. Yeah, you're on the title. Yeah, you insure the thing, and you pay a monthly payment. But until that quote-unquote
take
rent
exit 1 for 8th Avenue
or lease payment is satisfied and that note is signed off and expires, the bank owns your car. You don't own your car. They let you think you own your car, but you don't own your car. So why are you so upset that they're taking back what you neglected to keep uphold the end of the bargain and take care of, what you agreed to do? So the third thing
use the right 2 lanes to turn right onto 8th Avenue.
And I don't think a lot of people understand this, but all the damage that you do to your vehicle, you're liable for. So all those windows and the panels they kicked in and the stuff they bricked on the interior, I got to write an estimate, and that estimate's going to get submitted to the bank or the bank's preventative loss insurance.
Hey, use the right 2 lanes to turn right onto 8th Avenue.
They may or may not pay to have it repaired so they can try to sell it to get top dollar out of this thing. But a lot of times they just get sold, and that damage gets tacked on to your loan, your note, because they can't get. So say like the challenge, or say the car is worth 10 grand, right? And they're going to take it to auction, they're going to get 8,500 out of it. Well, you just did all that damage to it, so now they're going to be lucky if you get fucking 2,500 out of it. So you owe 10, they could have got 8, but they only get 25. So at the end of the day, you still owe $8,500. And they're going to come after you and sue you for it, or get a lien or a judgment or whatever they need to do to collect it. So it's not wise to do that kind of stuff. And the fourth and final point about that is, and a lot of people don't realize this because they're not thinking in the heat of the moment, and they think, well, it's mine, it's no big deal. If the bank or the repossession driver, you're being hostile with them and they want to call the police, and you're vandalizing this thing, you can be arrested for malicious destruction of property regardless of who owns this thing. You're going to go to jail. You're going to get fines, probably, like I said, jail time, fines, probation, a felony or a misdemeanor on your record, depending on how much my estimate is. So is it really worth, doing that too? I don't understand why people want to do that type of thing. So you run the risk of, there's so many risks. You run the risk of going to jail. You devalue the object, so
Aisle, turn left onto
you're not going to
44th
get
Street Southwest.
what you could get out of it. And the stupid thing is say it's the other way around. Say you only owed $3,500 on this thing, but the thing's worth $10,000, and they were able to take it to an auction sale and sell it. The bank takes the $3,500, but they have to cut you a check for the remaining balance after all the repossession fees and everything else.
Turn left onto 44th
By
Street
you
Southwest.
damaging that and not being able to get top dollar out of the object, you screw yourself of any potential refund. So it just makes absolutely no sense to me. If you guys find yourself in that kind of a situation, first of all, I'm going to apologize and say I'm sorry that you're there. All right, but there are other things that you can do. I mean, you can reach out, try to work with the bank, communicate with the bank, maybe get a lower payment until you can get back on your feet. Whatever you need to do to save that, and keep a repossession from happening. But if you do end up having to give it back, don't tear the thing up. Don't vandalize it. Don't strip parts off it. Don't, try to do that type of thing. Sell crap. I've seen people sell motors and transmissions and wheels and tires off them, and then people just come and get a shell and repossess a shell. Yeah, you put a little bit of money in your pocket for short term, but you're most definitely going to get probably arrested or charged with something later on down the road. It's kind of silly, so if you find yourself in a situation, try to negotiate with the lender. Don't ignore them. Let them know what's going on. They don't want the car back any more than you want to give the freaking car back. All right, they would much rather have you pay. And like I said, don't vandalize it or ruin it, because you're gonna screw yourself over. And just try to work through the thing. You'd be much better to do that than to screw it up. So, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Our scooter's gonna get ya!